There was like Old Bay beer.
Old Bay beer?
Yeah, it's like an Old Bay pale ale, which
a little weird.
it was fine. Like.
Welcome to the Big Dane Podcast. I'm your host, Dana Trimborn, and in this podcast, find the connection in the weird experiences that we all share. Listen to new episodes on Tuesdays wherever you get your podcasts. Hey friends, in this week's episode, I'm chatting with Lily Amberg, creatrix of Witch's Way Craft and 13 Circles in Conshohocken. Listen to her weird and interesting neighbor stories. Find out what her neighbor was doing outside when he said hello. Welcome, Lily.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, before we get into the episode?
Yeah, so I'm Lily. Like you said, I am the creator and owners of Witch's Way Craft and 13 Circles, which is a new storefront that just opened on Fayette and Conchi. We're approaching our 6-month anniversary this week.
Wow.
So, yeah, it'll have been 6 months that we've been open.
Time flies.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been great. I'm so happy to own a shop and run a shop in the town that I live in. So I currently live in Conshohocken. We bought our first house here. My husband and I did. And originally we grew up in Maryland, and I was in Philly proper for about a decade of my adult life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's get to know you a little bit better with some fun and weird questions.
Love these.
What is the most quirkiest thing that you do?
I would say right now, besides being like a full-time candle maker and crystal internet seller, I read palms. I've been reading palms for a very long time, but now that we just opened up the storefront, I've been able to start like booking more appointments and readings with people. And I think that's one thing that I do that I haven't met very many other people that are able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone like that does that.
Yeah. Palm is hard. It's hard to look at somebody's hand and tell them about themselves, but it's fun to do.
Ooh, I want to sign up for an appointment.
Yeah, come whenever.
Read me. What weird superstitions do you have, if any?
I guess like for superstitions, like with me, obviously, like I believe in energy, so I am the type of person to always like cleanse with like sacred herbs, something like sage or mugwort, like whenever somebody kind of comes in or out of my space. Like I'm very much of like a little turtle sometimes, or like I love being in my home, but if people come into my home and like it feels wacky when they leave, I'm like instantly running around the house like playing throat music with the smoke, and my husband's like, all right, I'll leave her alone, I'll let her deal with that. But I actually I know I had kind of touched on this before, even with our storefront being called 13 Circles, but I think 13 is a lucky number, which it traditionally is seen as lucky in Italian culture, so it's like a good superstition.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's get into your stories with your neighbors. So What's been going on?
So we did just buy our house in Conshohocken, and we bought it back in early 2021. And when we were moving in, we initially were still running all of the business like out of our house online. So we also had to move all of the business stuff with all of our personal stuff. So a lot of our friends that were like working with us at that point, so like lots of like tattooed Nordic, like, you know, pierced guys were helping us like unpack and stuff. And they had brought us a gift, and it was this big cast iron cauldron that was like you could fit like 3 logs in it, or I like to call it child-sized. So it's like perfect for kids. And then of course, as we're bringing down this child-sized cast iron cauldron, the next door neighbors walk out, and this is like the first time we're kind of meeting them. Okay. And they kind of look at us, and I have this cauldron, and they have a 5-year-old daughter, and they're looking at us, and then the mom goes, "She loves witches. She's very excited about this." And she's like, "We saw you carrying in this big cauldron, so we had to come out and say hello to you." So I was very honored to be, you know, the witch next door for these people.
Yeah, because I bet you probably thought they were gonna maybe something,
just
say
like
something
stare
else to
and be like,
you,
"What's happening?" Or like
maybe like a snarky comment. You know.
Yeah, I was fully like ready for the bigotry, but instead it was just all warm love. So that was really, really nice. Yeah,
that's nice.
It's good to hear that the youth of today is in love with witches. Don't hate us before you actually get to know us.
And where did you get this cauldron at?
So it's our friend Josh who brought it to us, but his wife got it at an estate sale in Maryland. So it's like from someone's house, like just
oh wow,
yeah. So it's antique. It's authentic cast iron cauldron.
This is the real shit.
Yeah, definitely. So I was very excited to have like a full size cauldron that we can like have fires in the backyard.
I love that. And who doesn't love a fire pit?
Oh my gosh, I know. I was so excited about having a yard in our house. It's our first yard, which I guess kind of gets into one of the other neighbor stories that I had, because we were in Philly proper for so long. We never had like an outside space. It was always just like a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment wherever we could live in the city. But we got a place in Roxborough that had a balcony outside, and we have 2 cats. Trouble is the tuxedo, my lady, and Mr. Bones. He's one-eyed with no teeth. He's a mess, but he's like a boy. So we had this outside like little patio area that faced the parking lot of all of the units and all of the buildings. It was like a big complex. And I wanted to take Mr. Bones outside because he'd never been outside, and you know, he's an animal. So I strapped his little harness on him, and I took him outside, and I was like sitting in a little lawn chair, and he was just laying next to me, and I was reading a book. And like my balcony could face all, like the building was almost like an L, so I was at the bottom part of the L in the corner, and then I could see the long parts of the other places. So
I got you.
I just heard this guy, and he's like, "Hey, like, hello." And I was like, who is yelling like hello at me? And then I had to look up because we were on the first floor, and they were probably on the 3rd or the 4th, and this guy is just holding like this fluffy kitty, just like arms up, like his hands were under its armpits, like Rafiki and Simba, and he's like, "Look, I love cats too." And I was like, yes, this is the best.
Gosh.
This was like the first week we had moved in. I was like, this is the best place we've ever lived. Like Simba cat neighbors. Very excited to see them. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he come by at all? Like, did you like see him?
We really
after
only
that?
communicated from balconies at that point, but it was so funny because like when he was like holding his cat out, he's like, "This is like Oscar," and I was like, "This is Mr. Bones," and you know, so we would just kind of like wave from the balconies, and I could see his wife in the background. We're like, "Hey," and then you know my husband's like, "Hey guys," so we were just cat friends from afar.
Yeah,
just beautiful, but never meeting.
Yeah, right. Did his cats like also like? Could they like be outside?
I didn't really see him outside. No, so like the balconies had like a little like gate or like little fencey thing, but yeah, there was like nowhere for cats to go in the city. I mean, even around here, I know we have like a lot of strays that are everywhere, but
a lot of strays.
I don't let my cats out here. I'll let them walk around the yard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we do. I mean, well, I can't speak for my cat, but for Lydia, so she had been outside before, so she always like she'll stand by the door and like she wants to go outside. So Matt, my fiance, will just carry her outside.
Yeah. Bones will he rubs his hands on the windows, and it's just like so loud and so obnoxious, and you'd act like he was like trying to escape from prison. That's what you'd think he's doing.
Oh my
it's
God.
just like, Mr. Bones, like, please relax.
He will pipe it down.
I know, he's a feisty one.
Oh, well, that's I like that about your neighbors though.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's good to have like cat friends. I don't know, just from across the way, and
I agree.
Know that
because
they
know
people. Yeah,
they know how it goes with cats.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Nice. Anything else?
As far as like neighbors stuff goes.
Yeah.
Let's see. When I was in school, my parents sold like the house that I grew up in, and they moved to a small town in Maryland called Frederick. And there's a pretty like well-known craft brewery down there called Flying Dog. beer, and their new next door neighbor, they have like really cool art on their logos.
They do,
I love the artwork. But their next door neighbor was the brewmaster for Flying Dog, which I thought I was probably 20 when they sold their house. So to me, like beer, 20-year-old, like, yeah, beer. This is amazing. Yeah, woo. But I would go home to see them like on break or stay with them for maybe a weekend or something. And my dad would be outside in their little garden, and I'd hear him like talking to the neighbor over the fence. And I never got to meet these new neighbors, but I just remember this guy coming over to my dad, and he's got a six-pack of beer in each hand, and just hands it over the fence to my father. And I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. And now like I want to do that for my neighbors. So we've done that before. We've had a couple of some solstice parties at the house, and I have friends that work in beer. So our current next door neighbors, the ones that I met with the cauldrons, have been like, oh, you guys having a party? And we're like, here's the noise tax. And we usually hand them like a case of beer. We're like, we're sorry, we're loud. But they said they've never heard us. So.
So the neighbor that would give your family the beer, they were there for a while?
Yeah, they had been there as long as like I know. They probably had been in that house for at least a decade, and I think they might even still be there. My parents have since moved. Yeah. I'm old. I'm just old now. Yeah.
And now had he done that before where he would share?
That was like the first time. I think so. My dad just really talks to everybody. My dad's like that kind of guy that just like goes up, and you'll be walking on the street. I remember like even on vacation when I was 8, my family, we went to Hawaii, and my dad was a music teacher for elementary school students, and like his student saw him in Hawaii. Like my dad can't go anywhere without people knowing who he is because he talks to everybody. So he just makes friends so fast. He's one of those people that just instantly does it, and then I guess finds the neighbor that hands them free beer over the fence. Like only my father would manifest that. Yeah.
Huh. Well, gotta love some free beer and good beer too.
Oh yeah.
Not like, here's some Miller Lite.
Yeah, some of it was funky, like very funky.
Some weird beers.
Yeah, well, because like Maryland, there was like Old Bay beer.
Old Bay beer?
Yeah, it's like an Old Bay pale ale, which it was fine. Like I've had like the sriracha beers and stuff before, and I was very disappointed by the sriracha beer because it was a stout, and why would you put sriracha in a stout? That doesn't make any sense to me. You don't want like a spicy chocolatey stout. I want like sriracha. So,
I don't think I've had sriracha beer either.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
Where would you even get that?
Chinatown. No, seriously, Chinatown. You can get it down there.
I do like Chinatown.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Old Bay beer though.
I tried it. It's fine, but like I
sounds
drink
very
Coors Light.
salty.
I'm getting.
I'm tasting salt.
Yeah, no, I like a regular old sessionable like lager or like a light IPA. And I can just drink and not get a headache or hiccups from. Yeah, so not Old Bay beer, not sriracha stout.
Give me something else.
Yeah,
something less weird. Wonderful. Anything else cat related?
Probably. Oh yes, hold please. Sorry.
Okay, let's take a quick break. For a limited time only, you'll have free access to my coffee page. No, not actual coffee. This is a place for all exclusive content that won't be on my Instagram or Facebook accounts. Check out sneak peeks, behind the scenes, extra audio clips, and much more. Just have a tap on my Linktree, look out for that coffee cup icon, and boom, you'll be on your way.
So actually, in mine and Joe's first apartment together, which was in Fairmount, you can see it in the old Rocky movie, like the first Rocky movie, and I thought that was so funny. You could see our apartment building at that, but it was it was one of those big complexes down by the art museum, and we were on the second floor, and we had a neighbor who went by Miss Kim. We love Miss Kim. She was fabulous, but she got a kitten one day, but she'd always like leave her apartment door open, and there was probably about 20 units per floor. So a lot of people, like, I would never, ever leave my door open knowing, like, that many people were coming and going all the time to the elevators or the stairs. But she'd just gotten a little black and white kitten, and she called it Mo Pepper. And I remember, like, Joe and I would always, like, come home, we'd get off the elevator, and we'd start walking to our apartment, and, of course, like, we'd have to pass by Kim's apartment, and we'd just hear her, like, banging on pots and pans, like, singing whatever song. And then I'd, like, look, and I'd just see, like, Mo Pepper in the hallway, just, like, she's got, like, the spread legs and the wide eyes, just, like, looking at me. And I'm like, oh, so you need to get home? Do we need to take you home? So we'd just, like, scoop her up, you know, and just, like, gently, like, scooch her back into Kim's apartment. But we lived right above the front office. Like, she lived right above the front office, so on her, like, outside window, like, if you were to jump out the window, you would land right in front of the building where everybody enters. And again, there's probably like not 1,000, there's probably like 100 units in there. Okay. So a lot of people live in this building. But I remember walking in one day, and the security guard's, like, freaking out, and there's this lady freaking out, and there's this cat just, like, in the front hall, like the front office, and everyone's like, I don't know whose cat this is. I was like, that's Kim's cat. I was like, I know it's Kim's cat. The cat lives on my floor. Like, I see it out in the hallway all the time. And Kim was like, she just came downstairs and was, like, so dramatic. She's like, oh my goodness, Pepper. Like, I didn't realize she could get outside. And, like, I guess she jumped out the window onto the first floor and was just, like, in the office. So I was like, no, it's Kim's cat. I know where the cat lives. So I had to take her back after the cat jumped out the window.
Oh my goodness.
Just, escaped kitty.
Well, luckily it's a cat.
Yeah, she was fine. Just to be clear, totally fine. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like a huge fall, but it was I wouldn't want to take that jump. Yeah. Personally.
Yeah, I mean,
personally, no. My 30-year-old bones couldn't handle it.
Us as humans don't know if we'll land on our feet.
Yeah. Mo Pepper could handle it.
Mo Pepper, she's landing on her feet. She had it.
Yeah, she is amazing. So. I know, I wanted to keep her so bad. Just a nice, like, black and white fluffy. Oh. Yeah. Keep all the cats.
That's interesting that, like, I guess first you would hear Miss Kim just, like, making a ton of noise, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, she'd play, like, The Weeknd really loud, which, like, I love The Weeknd, so no shade, like, do it, like, play it up. At least it's a good, you know, song or good music. But I never understood that, like, I maybe she had people over a lot, but I never heard anybody else in there. I just heard her, like, making a racket.
Just bopping around.
Yeah. But, you know, sometimes the city gets lonely and just got to open your doors, be friendly with your neighbors. Like, should have just walked in one day. And I'm like, what you doing? No.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe. I don't know. Not anymore in Philly, but maybe around here. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Yeah. Well, I love all these stories.
I know. I want to hear about your crazy stuff, too. I feel like you probably have some, I don't know, good ones. So I know. Mine are all Philly ratchet. I feel like some of the other ones just, like, people screaming in the streets. You know how it is. Yeah.
Gotta roll with it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And sharing these stories with us. I hope everyone found connection here. If people want to get in touch with you, how would they go about doing that?
So you guys can find me on Instagram. It's just 13 Circle Shop is our Instagram page for the storefront. And then you can also email me. My first business is Witch's Way Crafts. So just email me at info@witcheswaycraft.com. WITCHSWAYCRAFT. And that's it. Yeah, just that. Or just scream. Send a owl messenger and I'll get it. It's fine. Or a cat. Please send me cats with messages. Thank you. Yeah.
Just stand outside the store with some pots and pans.
Yeah,
and
and play The Weeknd.
Play The Weeknd.
You'll find me.
You'll know.
Yeah, I'll be summoned.
Someone.
Yeah.
To come through. So awesome. All right. Well, thanks again, and we'll catch everyone next week. See ya. All right, my friends. Thanks for listening, and be sure to listen to new episodes on your preferred platform. Stay up to date with my podcast by going to my Instagram or Facebook accounts at The Baked Dane Podcast. Interested in being a guest? Just go to my link tree, tap on Be a Guest, and fill out the form. All right. Catch you next week.